welcome to Pet Paparazzi's YouTube channel, a channel dedicated to creating tutorials to help you learn and navigate your way through Photoshop and all the tools that Photoshop has to offer, as well as learning how to take better photos of your pets, or simply how to become a pet photographer like myself. I'm Lena and I'm the owner and creator behind Pet Paparazzi. And in today's tutorial, we are going to talk about how to create layer masks to separate your subject from your background so that you're not editing them together and you can edit them separately so that they don't merge and make each other look silly. For example, if you change colours of your background, that will then change the colours of your subject. So if you do that separately, this will not happen. I hope you find my videos easy to follow and they help you on your journey like I've learnt in the past with YouTube videos before. So let's get cracking. As you can see, I have already opened up this image here, which is the image we are going to be working on for our layer mask, and then I will go ahead and edit it fully, but we will have another tutorial video on that another day. So this here is Storm, and she is a beautiful Damascus wolf dog, and I had a session with her on Sunday just gone. I have already removed any distractions from this image, so it's ready to go. But first things first is we don't want to work on this layer here. This is the layer that Photoshop opens up. We want to duplicate this layer, so we're going to click and drag the background layer down to layers, and this will duplicate it, like so. Now you will see that you have your background layer and your background copy. So I'm just going to rename this to background layer. And then when we have our subject layer, we will rename that to subject layer, and you will have your two separate layers. To do your layer mask, you want to make sure that you have your background layer selected. And then we are going to go up to the top bar here and click select. And then we're going to go down to select and mask. Now as you can see, the image turns red, and you have tools down the left hand side, and you have a lot of sliders down here. You generally don't need to mess around with these, you can keep them as they are. You can however change the colour of your mask if you want to. I personally would keep it down the opacity at 35% so that you can still see the background and see what you need to mask in and out. But yeah, you can change the colours, or yeah. I generally use blue or red. I think I'll use blue today. But yeah, still keep it at 35%. The only two tools we're going to be using is the brush tool and the refine edge brush tool. Sometimes when you're doing your mask, it misses parts of the ears and it adds them into the background. So I'll just go through with the brush tool and put those back in the mask. And then I use the refine edge brush tool to go around the outside if I need to. So yes, just those two tools. So first things first, we're going to click this little drop down arrow here, and you want cloud for more detailed results. It's usually pretty accurate. You do have to make some slight adjustments, but other than that, it's almost near perfect. It usually only takes a couple of seconds. Sometimes it can take a little bit longer. Depends how Photoshop and your computer is feeling on that day. There we go. As you can see, Storm is now selected and the background is still blue. So Storm is our layer mask to create our subject layer. So I'll just go ahead and zoom in so that you can see. As you can see, there's slight blue bits up here and down here on the paws and down here on the tail. But other than that, it's pretty spot on. So I'm just going to use the brush tool as I mentioned and just go over the ears and the paws just to add those back in. And then for the tail down here, we're going to use the Refine Edge brush tool. I'm actually going to turn my opacity up a little bit here to 40. So you're just going to go along the tail like this, or the fur, whatever part of the fur you're doing. And then take the background parts out. It's not quite doing it perfectly. When you want to take away the background layer, you want the minus so that you can take that away and add that to the background rather than your subject. There. Once you are done and you're happy, you can go ahead and press OK. So I'm going to click OK. Now as you can see, this is our subject layer, so I'm going to rename that to subject layer. And the background layer is now hidden, so I'm going to unhide that. Now we want to add this layer mask to the background layer and invert it. So first things first, we want to select the background layer and we want to add a layer mask to it. So you're going to go down here to layer mask, click that, and a white layer mask will appear. Next we are going to click and drag our subject layer mask down to the background layer mask so that they are duplicated. Now to do this, on a MacBook or a Mac, which I'm using a MacBook, you click and hold down Option on your layer mask here, and then you click and hold down your left mouse button and drag down to the background layer mask and let go. The layer mask is now duplicated, but what we want to do is now invert this so that the background is white and the subject is black, so then we have our two layers. So you're going to click on your background layer mask, and then what you are going to do is invert it. To do this, I press Command and I to invert, and as you can see it's now changed, so now we have our two layers. But that's it, there you've got your two layers. So if I just go into my background layer, we'll just quickly nip into Camera Raw Filter and I'll just mess around with some of the colours so that you can see that it only changes that layer. So I'm just going to make it all grey. So as you can see, all of the background has gone grey, but Storm is still her gorgeous colour. So it only changes the layer of the background that you've created. And that's about it. As I said, I'm going to go ahead now and edit this fully. I hope this video was helpful for you creating layer masks. If you do have any problems, please just let me know in the comments or send me a message on Facebook or Instagram.